platforms and services is really about focusing on the people who are trying to deliver services that allow people to engage in essentially online and digital life.
So do you think that we should all have a platform?
A platform?
A platform.
Well, that's a really surprisingly insightful question, because you hear things like, we need an app store for poverty, or we need a Facebook for the SDGs. And what that kind of ignores is the grand complexity of the world, and we don't have one platform for anything. We have, probably interacting in our daily lives, thousands of them. And if you're trying to cover the needs of all people in the world, what we really need is a lively, robust ecosystem of different providers and hundreds and thousands of different kinds of platforms. So that's actually what platforms and services is about. Is not about trying to have the social sector somehow create the magical platform that will solve all or any of the world's problems, but to try to create the enabling environment so that we have a richness in innovation from every interested party, whether it's the private sector, governments, NGOs, communities themselves delivering platforms and services. Depending on whose numbers you look at, between 80 and 90 something, 95% of the entire population of the planet lives where there is internet infrastructure generally delivered by mobile operators. But that doesn't mean that everybody is connected. So one of the things we can look at is that simply extending the infrastructure as it exists today to cover that last 15 to 3%, depending on whose numbers you look at, doesn't actually give people access to digital society if that's all you do. So critical challenges around affordability and awareness and having that space, that online space, be something that is inviting, welcoming, and useful and meaningful to all people. Those are some of the you might think of them as softer areas, because it seems there may be cost problems involved or maintenance problems, but it seems fairly straightforward to dig a ditch and bring a fiber somewhere else. But figuring out how to address things like gender gap in access to technology gets into messy stuff like people. In order to get to a fully inclusive digital society, we definitely need to look beyond the basic technical infrastructure to the other barriers.